Here we are going live. And you know what I'm going to do here while we're doing this? Let me see. First person on, there may be people already there. In the chat, if you can just let me know if you can see me and hear me, that would be great. Okay. Report junk. This is me. I like to talk text, so I'm just going to talk text my husband real quick. Hey, comma, when you get a chance before 10 o'clock, can you bring in my earbuds from next to the bed, comma, thanks, exclamation point. There we go. There we go. I see a bunch of yeses and a bunch of people. Good morning. Good morning. I love it. Look at how you guys are getting so good at changing the TV station. If there's a show you like, who cares if it's on channel 38 or channel 2, right? So, hello, Kelly Smith. Nice to see you. I love it. Therapy Gal Sue and McDougs and Christina and all sorts of people. Shannon and Melissa and McDougs and Cheryl and Danielle and Lori. And I love how we all have different names. Okay. My husband got the message. Get the message. Oh, damn, you're quick. Thank you. Hey, can you hot in my tea then since you're there? Can you hot in my tea? Sure. Thank you. Hot in my tea. Hot in my teeth, Johnny. There we go. Happy Friday, everybody. So Anne is recommending, don't forget to thumbs up the video that's outside the chat window. Yeah, we get 25 people on and there's 9 thumbs ups. Maybe we can get them there. Yep. Yeah, he is. Trust me, Danielle, I had a husband that was on the surface very sweet, but underneath kind of rotten. So I have one it's sweet. He's sweet on the outside, easy on the eyes, and sweet on the inside. He also can be quite aggravating, as I'm sure I am too. But it's a nice. I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed. I am. But I would not have known what to look for unless I had a bad experience. And I learned from my bad experience. I didn't repeat that. I looked for somebody who was trustworthy. And I'm telling you, I had PTSD from my first marriage, and it took a long time for me to trust my current husband, but it was patient. He just was who he was. He was trustworthy. He was worthy of my trust. So I say to you, it may take you a while to kind of learn to do different things and learn to trust yourself. Trust yourself. Was it Treat Yourself Day? Trust yourself. To trust that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. Trust when you're using your yoga block and you're going to throw it on the side of the room. Okay? So, yeah, I have had the bad ones, never married though. That's okay. You don't need to get married. I didn't think, frankly, after my first marriage that I would ever get married again. But boy, am I glad I did. But if I didn't, that would have been okay. Okay? So, enough about me and my marriage. Oh, we could talk. This is kind of like a coffee clutch. But I would much rather. I am more comfortable and knowledgeable and helpful in the area of clutter. Okay. Hey, Monica, you got a real word. You get a real name. Hey, everyone. It's Monk from TT. I love it. It's fun when we have different monikers. Monica has a moniker. Isn't that funny? Moniker. Probably somebody from Southie could call him that. So, you guys, this is the cool thing about the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel and the lives on this channel is, as I like to say, for whatever reason, a substantially fewer amount of people tune in here than TikTok. Now, instead of being fearful and, I love it. I love it. It's a smaller, dare I say, cooler group of people. Because I know, because people have pretty much said it, that there are people who say, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to find you on YouTube. And they don't try to figure out what they don't know. So what I offer to you is, I am proud of you for learning how to get here from TikTok. Okay? I love that you are a person who says, I may not know, but I will find out how to do it. And then we get, again, I was talking on TikTok, as many of you hopped over from TikTok. We were talking about quality and quantity. Okay. And, fun. Orchestra teacher, VA. See, that's the cool thing about the TikTok algorithm is sometimes I just pop up there. But I am on TikTok a lot Now I decided to come back here in May or there, and now I'm here on YouTube as well. So if you just popped up for me randomly, or orchestra teacher VA, let me help you out with this, okay? And Sweet Rain says, Cynthia says, I like YouTube better. I'm figuring it all out. Aren't we all, hon? We are. We're just trying to figure it out. Maybe not all of it, but we're trying to figure it out. So, orchestra teacher VA, here's something that might be helpful to you. So, I offer it. So, I don't like to get a lot of spam and I don't like to get a lot of trolls. And so, a lot of what I offer to people is free. It is free. However, in order to get access to it, you just need to sign up for my mailing list. It's only the only reason is to keep the people out who are just going to be pains in the ass. So if you go to my website is destinationdecluttered.com, destinationdecluttered past tense.com, and you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you're going to find a just a little form to put your email address and submit. You got to pretend that you're you got to promise you're not a robot. And then what you'll get, this is what I'm getting to. I know it's taken a while, is you get an automatic email with a link to what I'm calling the secret page. It's a hidden page. You will not find it if you go to my website, but what I call it, it's like the speakeasy page. It's members only, because you're a member of the mailing list, members only invitations in the TikTok, YouTube live schedule. When you get that page, you're going to see that one of the things I offer just to the people on the mailing list are declutter parties. This is us showing up at the same time for a finite amount of time on a certain day at a certain time for a certain amount of time on Zoom so we can interact, unlike this, which is a little bit kind of lopsided. And we put into practice what I talk about on the TikToks and the YouTubes. So you get to have support while you are decluttering, and not just me as the kind of the expert. You have support of just other people doing it at the same time. A lot of people that I work with have ADHD, and it's in my family like nobody's business. So I am familiar with that concept of body doubling, of making some things easier if somebody else is working at the same time. So that's part of it too. So there are all sorts of declutter party dates. As of today, there are 12 of them scheduled between now and July 1st. You get the link to that. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be live, it's what I call the TV guide is scheduled there live. So that place, and also to be very clear, I know I'm getting kind of admin, but I just want to remind folks, I don't like to get a lot of emails, so I don't send a lot of emails. But what you have at your fingertips at all times when you want to know about it is access to this page. So if you want to know when on Sunday I'm doing a TikTok live and a YouTube live, it's right there on the page. If you want to know what time the declutter party is on Saturday, June 7th, it's right there. If you want to know if there's a declutter party on Thursday or Monday, the answer is yes. There are some, but the times are on there. So there are resources available to you. But here's the other thing too. Taking action to move forward in a direction you want is an important skill to start developing. Doing something to get you closer to what you want is how you get closer to what you want. I could spoon feed it to you and give you all the info, but you have to be willing to do something. So I like it when I'm hanging out with people that are doing something. And you are, every single one of you on this YouTube live is that kind of person. So yay you, yay us. You didn't say, oh, I don't know how, and not bother to learn. You're a learner. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everything going okay down there?
Okay.
Yay. And you all see you this afternoon?
Yep.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So now that I've distracted myself, we've got people working in the basement. Hopefully they won't be too loud. Oh, I hope they're not going to be buffing the floor or something. And my husband's leaving for a rehearsal. But so now it's just us. Okay. What do you want to get into? What do you want to get into? Well, how can I help you? If it was just you and me and you had a question about clutter, what would that be? Now, if you're not comfortable putting it in the comments, that's okay. Maybe somebody else will ask a similar question. But since it's such a small, supportive group here, Um, if you share what you're stumbling and mumbling, I can help. Yeah, go us. Okay. Now Clara is saying, "Oh, hey Clara, nice to see you. How to say you say how to say okay task? I think you might have meant on task. Okay. So, how to stay on task. Now, this is a muscle. Staying on task, if you think about it, requires focus. Now, I know because I've worn glasses pretty much since junior high. Um, Focusing is a muscle. So, what I offer to you is notice when factor in focusing, though, you can only do it for so long and then you need to take a break. It's like using your eyes to focus, but then you need to take a break because other than that, you can get tired. Your eyes can get tired. So, a couple of tools that will help you do that. One of them is, and I know this sounds very kind of neurotypical, but is a timer. So a timer, like the Pomodoro method, it was named after some guy decided to set a kitchen timer and it was in the shape of a tomato. So setting a timer and practicing how long you can focus. Maybe you set it for 20 minutes and you say to yourself, I'm going to practice the skill of focusing on this task for 20 minutes. If I start to distract, I say, no, I'm going to continue to practice, but I know that this container of time will be over in 20 minutes. So I'm going to practice doing something for 20 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, I can stop and take a break. If 20 minutes seems too much, chunk it down. That's a big one of mine. Chunk it down. 20 minutes is too much, cut it in half. How about 10 minutes? 10 minutes too much? 5. Practice small, but just start it. Okay. The other thing, Clara, I will offer to you, and you guys have been born witness to this. You've seen this happen with me. I am an early bird. I am married to a night owl. I am more able to easily focus on things at a certain time of day versus another time of day. Okay. So, what I want to suggest to you and everybody here, where's your sweet spot? Where is it where you have focus and energy and motivation and clarity and a full tank of gas, as it were, versus when you're sliding in and you're like on fumes? Schedule things that you need to focus on for the time that you are physically and mentally more able to easily do those things. Okay. All right. Now, Kennedy, says it's amazing what you can get done when you set a timer. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't like a timer that ticks. That stresses me out. I feel like I'm playing beat the clock. On the other hand, that's me. On the other hand, I have a client, Erin, who loves playing the game of I'm going to see how much I can get done in this time. I prefer to, so I'll offer this. Find out what works for you. I don't like the stress of playing beat the clock. I like to practice moving through life at a time, at a pace, at a pace that feels good to me, and just noticing what I get done when I'm moving forward at a certain miles per hour that feels good to me. Because then I'm feeling good in that 20 minutes. I'm not racing. Now, your mileage may vary, so play around with this. Okay. Um, all right. What do we have here? Um, oh, completely. Okay. Now I love this. So Anne is saying, and this is how I always start, but I don't always start it because you guys know me. But remember, so for many TikTok lives and YouTube lives, starting with how you feel physically when you wake up in the morning and throughout the day. How am I feeling? You do the same thing of your car. How much gas do I have in my tank? Do I need to refill my tank? So Anne says, this sounds obvious, but sometimes the obvious things are not. But I want to offer checking in on your physical self. Yes, my brain fog was getting concerningly bad, but I think that I was also burning out physically without realizing it because she was working very late and rising early. I seemed okay, but also not okay. Yes, your body sends you messages. Listen to the messages your body sends you. I have to pee. I am hungry. I'm wicked tired. If you listen to those and act accordingly, you'll feel better. Ignore it at your peril. You're going to be wet in your pants, cranky, and crabby to everybody around you. Okay. Um, Now, I want to do things kind of in order here. NorCal travel bug. Ooh, I love a travel bug. How do I start organizing my storage lockers, please? Now, this is, you start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Was that doe a deer, a female deer? Um, you start with, before even starting organizing your storage lockers, defining your destination. What do you, I say, what do you want, but that may sound like you're making decisions. What kind of life do you want? Do you want all that stuff in your house? Yes or no? If you don't want it in your house, do you want it at all? Do you want some of it? How do you want your home? I think this is always a good thing, since we are working in the container of or the silo, the niche of clutter, and clutter typically in your home where you live. Let's start with the following. First of all, as we said, check in with your physical health and your nervous system. And then how we do that, you do a body scan down. How am I feeling? Fix what's broken. Make yourself feel better. How am I feeling nervous system wise? If I'm feeling okay, you can start with the next step. If you're not, do all the downs. Calm down, slow down, quiet down, breathe down, then sit down, put down a pad of paper, pick up a pen, and write down the answers to these following questions. Now, write down these questions too, because then you'll have them for good. Everybody, I'm giving you a few minutes to get yourself something to write down with. All right. And writing down is one of the skills. So I would say, how do I want my home to? You're going to define, I want my home to look, adjective, adjective, adjective. We're playing Mad Libs. We're just going to do the Mad Libs version, the quick and dirty kind. Uh, how do I want my home to function? I want my home to function easily. I'll give you the answer to that one. To me, it's always going to be, I want it to be easy to find something, easy to use it, and easy to put it away. Look, function, and the deepest one is, how do I want to feel in my home? Now, the one I always offer with this side, and this is the way to define a destination. This is how you're defining your destination. That includes these elements. You may have many words for how you currently feel crappy in your home. So write those down. I and just say, I don't want to feel this, and write down the crappy feeling. But then we play with opposites here a lot. The flip side. How do I want to feel? So start with your destination, and then ask yourself, and the other thing is, once you've written it down, chunking it down a little bit at a time, a box at a time, a tote at a time. You go through those things and say, are these things going to help me get that to that area, or are they going to steer me away from it? But notice, how do I start? Is by feeling like you can and knowing where to aim, and then just starting a little bit at a time. Past that, there are very few ways you can truly F up decluttering. You can do it by doing the opposite, by getting all anxious about things and making indiscriminate decisions and regretting things and just pitching things and later regretting it. So notice, making sure you're feeling good about feeling good and feeling good about where you're heading. And then a little bit at a time. Okay, Danielle, I love this. So thank you. I'm going to, there's a bunch of stuff here. Danielle says clothes. Clothes. Kids, there are baskets of them in my room, folded and not put away. I have room in my big closet. Not sure what the deal is there. Okay, here's an interesting thing I'll just point out, and this could be just because of the words you used. You have folded clothes in the baskets, but then you're talking about having room in your closet. Now, I don't know how your closets are arranged, but my closet I hang clothes on. So maybe it's that extra step of having to put the clothes on hangers. But what I would offer to you is this. I can guess and I can give you some suggestions, but you know where the real answer lies? In your head and in your heart. You already have your notebook, so why not write down your answer to, why am I not putting, again, we did this yesterday, hey, I'm curious, are you not putting away the clothes? You've got the room in the closet, but you're not putting them away. Again, not judgy, curious. Then you hand the microphone over to your head. Write down what your head says. If you're not sure what the deal is, get curious. Get some clues, Nancy Drew. Okay? And write down your clues. All right? Now, Brooklyn is saying, how do people declutter? Keeps up with habits and organize and cook and exercise when they work. I stay at home and can do all the things because I don't work. They struggle with it, probably. There are a lot of things that take time and effort, and you can really only do one thing at a time. Notice I am talking right now. I may be moving my hand, but I can't be sipping my tea and talking, or I will asphyxiate myself. It can be tough to juggle all those things. I'm not going to lie. No. But Brooklyn, what I would offer to you is be grateful for your situation. Be grateful for the time you have. Having worked all of my life up until about 50 when I quit my job, I worked on somebody else's schedule. So I had to fit what I wanted to do around my work schedule. I got pretty good at that, I won't lie. But getting on my own schedule was also how do I clock out from work when I'm the boss and the employee? So I am eternally grateful for my schedule because I create my own schedule. I literally have it right here. I have a list of gratitudes right here. And mine is, where is it? I am grateful that I am in control of my time. I enjoy having a flexible daily, weekly, yearly schedule designed by me. So you know what? I help the people wherever they are. If you work, I can help you. But yeah, it takes some energy and it depends on what you want to do. Okay. Yay, Sherry Knighton caught me live. You caught me. I'm live. Um, there we go. Laura Voorhees, speaking of music, just finished rehearsal and going to listen to me on the way home. That's the good news I want to share with you. If you are currently watching me on a screen, you technically don't even need to watch me. You would get 98% of the benefit from this by just listening, and you can do something else. So, driving and listening, that's okay. Do not distract yourself from the driving. Maybe you want to do some surface area decluttering, as I like to say, putter and declutter while you listen to me. Pretend it's a podcast. The only time that you won't get the benefit is when you are tuning out what I'm saying to then tune into something else. You're distracting yourself in your head. So I'm just saying to you, if you can't watch it on a screen, that's fine. You can probably do some other cool things and you won't see anything except me pointing at the road trip thing. Now, Monica is saying, I have a lot of party type dishes, platters, crock pots, etc. I don't use them often, but they're there when I need them, but I hate them taking up space. Couple of things. I used to have a lot of parties. So I had a lot of that type of infrequently used items, and I'm sure we all do. There's a couple of things that are going on. Let me think. Get curious about the functionality of where you are storing items. Okay. If we were to get very kind of I'd say feng shui, but like kind of efficiency, if we were to take a good look, you have everybody in your home, and we know this because we do them already. You have real estate in your house that is more valuable than other parts of your house. You have areas where it's easy for you to reach something, and you have areas where it's not as easy for you to reach. So I would start with this, Monica. Now, notice you hate them taking up space, but is it the space that you don't like them taking up, or is it that you currently possibly have some of them stored in a place that you would rather store something else? Now, what I found, and this is kind of funny right now because I'm literally hearing people in my basement, hopefully working on the floor, is what I did with my party stuff that I didn't use frequently, so I didn't need to reach it but once or twice or 3 or 4 times a year, is I had a shelf in my basement that I would put my punch bowl and my chips and dips, and I used to have a lot of this stuff because I used to collect mid-century stuff. So I put it totally out of the way of my everyday living. I then pay attention, and again, this falls under how do I want my home to function easily? I want to easily grab the things I need on a daily basis. Now, I wouldn't put my toothbrush down the basement because I use it every day. But my Christmas platter, yeah, it's going to go somewhere where I know where it is, but it doesn't have to be right in my face. So, does that help? Does that help? If it's taking up space, but you use it, then you might want to consider keeping it. If you're not using it, that's another thing. But then also think if you remove it, you could move it somewhere else. And then what would you put in that space? Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Therapy Gal Sue is getting ready early in the last 30 minutes as a house pickup. So my busy weekend is free. Yes. This is why I am going to be showing up so much for you in June because I am a sun sign. I am a summer person. I like the idea of summer vacation. I am eternally an elementary school kid. And so I'm going to show up a lot to help you learn this practice of declutter and declutter. We have more declutter parties than ever in June than ever before, so that you can practice decluttering and get more decluttered so that you also have time to enjoy your weekends. That's why the declutter parties are scheduled early on Saturdays nowadays. Um, you have more time to enjoy your summer because I don't want you thinking that, oh my God, this is going to take forever. It doesn't take forever. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Monica's saying, yes, makes sense. I think I should move them. Yeah. So notice everybody, notice where it's easy for you to access things. I'm short. There are some shelves I need to get a little step ladder at. I was at uh, um, a neighbor's house yesterday, and she literally had one of those little things on a stick that was grabbing because her ceilings were so high and she's so short like me. Um, use the area that's easy for you to get to for the things that you grab on a daily basis. The things you use less frequently, it's kind of like a concentric circles. Make them less easy to get to, and yet when you go to get them, you know where they are. I hope that helps. But yeah, starting your declutter sooner rather than later. And I say that to say Sue's doing it before she goes to work, so she has a good weekend free. I'm saying June before the summer. How about this? How about before you're an old person? How about before you're being moved into a care facility and your family has to clean out your house? The sooner you learn the skill of decluttering and you start doing it slowly and organically in a way that feels good to you and sustainably, a lot like organic farming, the sooner you start and you learn that it can be an evolution, a process, the better off you will be as opposed to rushing at the end and freaking out and getting exhausted physically and mentally and making decisions that don't feel good. If you start early and you do it in chunks, you will feel better about the way in which you have decided to keep what you keep and let go of what you let go of and feeling good about how you let go of it. That not everything ends up in a dumpster. So I say start now. What time is it? It's 9:30 in the morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. We're live here on YouTube on Friday, May 30th, 2025, 9:30 Eastern time. I will be doing this for another half hour. And then this is recorded and it's on the Destination Decluttered um, uh, YouTube channel where you are right now. Okay. So this is what I do. And I do a lot of YouTube lives and TikTok lives and declutter parties and one-on-one coaching. And you can find out all about that when you sign up for my mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com is where you can do that. Wicked easy. Seriously, you guys, if you have a half an hour, what are you doing from 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning right now? You don't have to put it in the comments. Just ask yourself, do I have a half an hour right here? Play around with starting to declutter. If you start decluttering now at 9:31, you will have less clutter at 10 o'clock. So what's stopping you from getting up? And again, let me be clear. If you want to listen to me, Surface clutter is the best way to go. The shallow end of the pool, the surfaces, the stuff that doesn't require a lot of thought for you to do. Hanging up clothes, for example. Danielle, are you hanging up your clothes? Okay. Um, Surface area clutter, the stuff that you don't have to listen to yourself think. That's the great thing to do. So, what surfaces are looking not so good right now in one room of your home? Pick one room, start on the surfaces, and putter and declutter as I keep you company. Okay. Now I love it. Monica just said, I'm going to start on my surface clutter and dishes. I love that. Anybody else want to share in the comments? You can if you want. Writing it down also gives you, this is a tool in your toolkit. Writing something down makes it more real to you. It's like another little kind of thread in encouraging you to do something. Sharing what you want to do with somebody else externally also can motivate you to get something done because you've got that external accountability. If your internal accountability isn't so strong, share with somebody else. This is what I'm going to do. Clara is going to empty the dishwasher. If you share it with me, you've written it down. Yay. You shared it with me. And now you're going to be more likely to do it because this is a tool in your toolkit, is external accountability. I have told somebody that I'm going to do something, and I am a woman of my word. If I promise myself that I'm going to do something, I don't always do it. But if I declare to somebody else, this is what I'm doing, it double digit increases the percentage likelihood that I will get that done. Okay, so Mary Lou Rizzo is going to declutter her dining table, and I love that you're getting more specific, mostly paperwork and mail. Okay, so notice two categories and how we chunk things down. Categories, a space. Okay, now dining table, mostly paperwork and mail. Dining table, you've got a pile. You can start with chunking things down. Here's a pile of paperwork. Here's a pile of mail. Making two piles and then dealing with one and then dealing with the other. I love it. Now, Monica, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't need to share it because a lot of why we don't do things is because we tell ourselves negative stories about it. So, why is the emptying the dishwasher? What are the reasons you give yourself, the specific reasons why emptying the dishwasher is your least favorite chore? You can write it down in the comments, or if you don't want to, just please write it down for yourself. Interview yourself. Why is it my least favorite chore? Now, here's the funny thing in our house. We have our chores kind of divided. My chore, one of my chores, is to empty out the dishwasher. I don't mind it. I like a clean dish. I like a clean dish better than a fork with egg yolk on it. I like having the dishwasher empty because putting dishes into the dishwasher is my husband's chore. And I know he can't do that if the dishwasher is filled with clean dishes. I also have learned that because I timed myself once, that it takes about 6 minutes for me to empty out the dishwasher. So when my brain says, oh, it's going to take forever, I don't have time, I'm like, dude, it literally takes 6 minutes. Okay. And sometimes we have parts of things that we like better than others. As I said, I don't like egg yolk on a fork. Oh, peanut butter on a knife, right? Monica says, I have no idea, Beth. It's funny that it's rather wash pans than empty it. Yeah. But I would offer you, Monica, as I'm chatting with everybody else, just ask yourself, what is it specifically about emptying the dishwasher that I do not like? And when you tune into that, maybe you tune out what I'm saying. You go into the kitchen and you ask yourself, what is it? I'm going to guarantee, and this is how I coach because I like to talk about things in ways we can understand versus fancy terms, because I'm sure we could understand fancy terms here. Do not get me wrong. We are smart people here, but why use gunpowder when flea powder will do? That's from my mother. When you listen to why you're not doing something, the voice that pipes up is your backseat driver, a little kid who doesn't want to do something. Ask them why they don't want to do it. Listen for the answer and be patient. Give me one reason. What's one? You don't need to figure it all out, but what's one specific reason why when I look at the dishwasher and it's filled with clean dishes, I go, yuck, as opposed to, ooh, clean dishes. I love it. So get curious. Because you have no idea, come up with an idea. Let's test it out. because the words in your head that you may not even tune into like a radio station right now, the words in your head are causing you to feel like you don't want to do it. So if you want to start doing it and not hating it every single time you do it, let's get curious about the words that are causing you to feel the hate or the dread. Okay, Monica says, okay, I think maybe, I love this. Let's just, because of the location of the dishwasher, my cabinets for cups are right above and it's aggravating. Okay, now to me, I'll be honest with you. I would think that it would be a good thing to immediately have above the dishwasher a cabinet to put the cups. What is aggravating about that setup? What part of that aggravates you? And notice we're getting specific because I will tell you there is such good, valuable info in focusing in on what aggravates you. Okay, I can't reach. Okay, I love that. Yes, that would aggravate me too. So, what I want to help you with is how about this? Maybe as part of your routine, part of you getting ready to do the dishes, you can't grow taller. You can't probably lower the cabinet so it's easier for you. So, part of your routine, do you have a step stool in your kitchen? I've got one. Do you have one of those little grabby things that my neighbor has? So, notice you're not the only one who has difficulty reaching cabinets. If you have some of those things, use those tools. Just make it part of what you do. Now, maybe this will help you. What I tend to do, my habit now, so I'll just offer it to you so it might help. I like to this is my routine. When I empty my dishwasher, I'm standing. This is how specific I am because I used to be a process engineer and I used to literally notate everybody's step in a process and how long it took. And so I notice this. I stand to the left of the open dishwasher. I start with the top drawer and I pull it out. Then what I do is the top drawer stuff is a combination of dishes that go on this side of the kitchen and a combination of dishes that go on that side of the kitchen. And I pull out the stuff from the top shelf and I put the stuff from the top shelf onto the counter right above the dishwasher. And I put the stuff that goes to the left in a left-hand pile and the right on a right-hand pile. Then when I have those like items, I shut that drawer. Then I go move the things. I typically go do the left ones. And then once those cabinets are open and I put those things in there, then I go to the bottom drawer and I pull that out. And then I put the stuff from the bottom drawer that belongs in the cabinets over here. And I tend to do like items together. So all the luncheon plates together, and then I do the silverware. Okay. Yeah. Process documentation, Sarah. Hundo P, as my sister would say. Yeah. And then I go to the other side. Now, here's a fun thing. Here's a fun thing. Typically, when I am doing the dishes and emptying the dishwasher on that side, because it's where I'm standing, when my husband is around, not all the time, so I don't expect it, but it happens more frequently than not, he will notice that I'm doing that. Now, I am married to a good egg, and he will come out, and when the stuff on that side of the dishwasher is out on the counter, he will put away that stuff as I'm doing this stuff, so I get help with it. Yeah. Think about this. Maybe some of those things will help. Now, NorCal Travel Bug is saying, and it has little quote marks on it, failing to decide where to put something away immediately leads to clutter accumulating because the initial indecision is a poor decision in the long run and it builds up items over time. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh, she says, or they say rather, something you said in a long time ago that truly helps me every day. Yeah. Notice where your indecision and one point has caused all sorts of things. Your decision, and not to quote Geddy Lee and Rush, but I will, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You have decided to postpone a more helpful decision. But if you decide right now, this is what I want to do, and you do it, that can be easier. I'm so glad that helped. Now, I also love this too, because as I am offering my suggestions for Monica, other people are chiming in too. We all want to help. Clara is saying maybe step up on a stool to put things away. Kelly is saying, could you put cups in a cabinet easier to reach and move things you don't use often to the cabinet? Functionality. Yeah, process documentation. All this good stuff about how to make it efficient and easy and not stressful to live in your home. I freaking love that. I am always doing efficiency improvements to everything. You know what they should have done in this living in this hotel room? They should have done this. You know what I would have done if this were my hotel room? I would have done that. That's how my brain works. So use my brain to help you. Okay? Clara says it's a mini workout. Yeah, doing your steps, maybe use like an aerobic step. Okay? Now, Anne says, part of why clean dishes bothered me, I love seeing bothered in the past tense, is because my cupboards were a mix of function. So I unmixed the function. She says, I put all the plates and bowls on one side and all liquid holders on the other. Yeah. Yeah. So notice that. And thank you, Monica. You're married to a golden egg. I am. I'm lucky. Not I trust me, I watch enough TikTok. I know there are a lot of men out there and I do not envy their wives. I do not. Um, but also I expect my husband. We expect each other to participate in the mutual maintenance of the house that we both live in. It's not a hierarchy here. It's a community, and the way we have organically worked out who does what, and it changes. I do some laundry, he does some laundry, works for us the way we've divided the tasks. It's not me because I happen to have a uterus does something and he has a penis and he does nothing, right? Nah, F that. Patriarchy, nice try. It worked in the back in the day. It's not flying in this house. And I'm going to encourage people to make sure that we um, dismantle that, because it's unfair to the person who's doing all the work, right? Why do you think? Seriously, I get very few men following me, calling up for coaching, um, interacting on a TikTok live or a YouTube live. So even notice the inherent disparity in women who feel like they need to figure it out, and guys are like, dude, whatever, that's women's work. Mm. Okay. Now, Monica Kennedy says that's something we need to work on. Okay, so notice that. I have MS and do not work. So I feel like I have to do everything because he works, but you work too. You're working at housework is work. Housework is work. And also, please notice that and I don't know your full situation, but I used to work outside of the house I'll share with you, there was some work I did. There was also a lot of fucking around, talking to people at the water cooler and exchanging emails and sneaking a peek at Amazon. Now, I don't know what your husband does for work, but I will tell you, just because it's work outside the house does not mean it's more valuable than work done inside the house. No, it takes effort, it takes decision making, and it takes maintenance. And look at why you are not working. If you have MS, you are not working because of a specific reason. And I say not working, you are not working outside of the home because working outside of the home is probably difficult for you physically. Well, just because it's work inside the home doesn't mean that that work is any easier. And notice what we were talking about, and unbeknownst to us, as we talked about the functionality, the setting up of your home to help you make it easier for you. If you have MS, think about anybody who has, I'm going to use the word disability. I hope it's, whatever. If you have a situation like I'm short, I'm like barely 5'3". So my thing is that I do not have the ability to easily reach the top shelves. Accommodating you to make things easier, having a step stool. So notice where you may need to rejigger, rearrange things so that it's easier for you to do the things in the house that you're currently struggling with. If there's a struggle in the house, get curious. We can probably do something to make it easier for you. Yeah, chronic illness. There we go, Lori Bray. Thank you. So, just because it's work inside the house doesn't mean it's not work. We all know this. It's decision making, it's planning, it's prioritizing, it's maintaining, it's moving your body, it's solving problems, it's making things better, it's making things running smoothly. And so much of it, because it's women's work, goes undocumented. Notice up thread, somebody said I could look, but I'll probably get distracted. Process documentation. This is why it would be get curious. If somebody says, "Oh, document everything you do in a day." Invisible work doesn't get seen. Make it visible. This is how I spent my time. I used to manage teams. I used to have to require them to document what they were doing so they weren't fucking around on the company dime. If there's that notion of, I work outside the house and this is important, and you work inside the house and it isn't important, show that it's wrong. Have your husband document what he does outside, you do yours, and have a meeting of the minds. It's the only way you're going to get your invisible work visible. Writing it down. Thoughts are invisible. Words in your head are invisible. Words on paper are visible. Documentation. Why do you think we have the Declaration of Independence written on papyrus with a quill? When you write something down, it becomes more real. A thought can escape. A thought, oh, I didn't say that. Somebody can gaslight you. But if you document shit, you have proof that's admissible in a court of law. Okay? Document what you do. I do this to myself all the time so I don't run into the fear of, I work for myself, I do nothing all day. You do nothing all day. Oh, yeah? I have books filled with what I have done all day. And it's proof to my backseat driver who's like, you don't even work outside the house. Bitch. I don't work outside the house, but man, do I change lives from inside my house. And every day, this is what I did. And I fold my paper in half because I work for myself. And I want to remind myself that these are the things I do for my work. And these are the things that I do for my life outside of my work. And that's where my time went yesterday. Document what you do. Remind yourself how much work it is. And then, hey, this is a bit inequality here. Now, is it always 50-50? No. 60-40? All right. 65-35? Yep. But when the scale starts to tip to a comical all or nothing, I get curious about that. Kelly Smith says, today I'm going to install an attic cover for my pull down stairs, hoping to keep the heat from seeping through. Awesome. Great idea. We should probably do something like that. I just want to I can't even reach the attic. We have a one level house. Our attic doesn't have anything in it except for insulation. I can't even get to that because I'm short, so we would need a ladder anyway. No big deal. But also because our hallway is filled with the stuff from the basement. So maybe once that stuff's done, then I'll do it. Notice prioritizing. I can't get to that easily until these things are moved. Once those things are moved, I can more easily get to that. So I love that Kelly Smith has a plan for that. Here's a funny thing. I'll be honest with you. I look down my plan for today, of which I will write down that I documented. I showed up for an hour doing a TikTok live. Check. I feel good about that. I showed up for 50 minutes so far and 10 minutes in the future for YouTube live. Check. I immediately am going to go from this to doing some coaching. Yay. And then you know what? I get a whole bunch of kind of free time, but I have some stuff I want to do. And I love that I am in control of what I do and when I do it. But because I am in control of that, I need to make sure that I look at what needs to be done and prioritize this. And I will do the things that are prioritizing. Like one of the things I am circling right now to remind myself of the importance is before Sunday, I need to create the entire background infrastructure of the tickets and the products and the pricing and all that. Well, the price is the same, but all of that for the 11 Destination Decluttered YouTube, the 11 Destination Decluttered decluttering parties that are happening in June. So while I don't have an official time when I'm going to do that, I know that part of my big time right now is wanting to do that. And of course, as soon as I say that, the sun comes out and part of me wants to just go out and play. So maybe I'll do this. I will chunk it down. I will decide some chunks that I will do. I will get all this part of this process ready. And I've documented the process. I should actually find that. And then I will stop and I'll take a break and I'll go outside. and then I'll come back and I'll do another chunk, and then I'll go outside. So it doesn't have to be 9 to 5. I'm stuck chained to my desk. We don't live, thank goodness, none of us work in the triangle shirtwaist factory. We are not, luckily, working in factories. Many of us, the fact that you can tune into YouTube on a Friday morning at 9:52 means that you have some control over your time. But with that freedom comes responsibility. Okay, if I can do anything I want with my time, what do I want to do? What do I have to do? Why do I have to do it? Oh, okay, because this? All right, maybe I'll do my have to do's, some of those, but then I'll do some things I want to do. It can be fun. Now, Melissa with 1S says, working out, cleaning out my desk so my husband has a nice place to work when he gets home. Now, there we go, Joanne Parkhurst. I'm here for another 8 minutes. So if you need help, put it in the comments and we can totally help you. Melissa, this is really interesting to me because we were just talking about that dynamic. Now, many of us use decluttering as a look what I did, but sometimes it can be, but notice working out, cleaning out my desk so my husband has a nice place to work when he gets home. Interesting way of doing it. Does he have his own desk? Is it our desk? Is it my desk and his desk? He's sitting at my desk. I mean, it's fun to play with these things. Could he create a nice space for himself to work on? I don't know. I like playing with this stuff. I don't know the answers in your life. You know these things. But what I offer is look at how much you do for somebody else and are they doing the same amount for you? Is he cleaning out a nice space in your craft area or on his desk for you to do your crafts? Now, trust me, I am not in the he-man, she-man, man's haters club. I love my husband. I do. There are so many good men in my life. What I just offer to you is get curious about the balance of power and effort in the house and don't make sure that it's more equal than unequal. Okay. Anne says, do you offer coaching sessions one at a time? Okay. Now let me before I answer that, Melissa is clarifying. Notice we're getting more specific. It's our desk. So notice that it's our desk and my stuff is 80% on the desk. Okay, yeah, hun, then that's totally on you. You go clean up that 80%, but don't just do it so your husband has a nice desk to work on. Do it for yourself as well. You would benefit from a clear surface to work on. So do it for him and you. Do not forget to put yourself in the equation. All right. I love it. Joanne says, Hubs and I are clearing out everything out of the closet for a total redo. Wow, the amount of crap we are throwing out. Awesome. Now, Higher Ground and Anne is asking, do you offer coaching sessions one at a time? Well, the funny thing is technically yes and technically no. Let me elaborate. So when I do coaching with somebody, the only way I offer it is a 10-session package. Within that 10-session package, each session is an hour long. So yes, I do it one session at a time, but it's a package of 10. It's like I don't sell eggs individually. I only sell them in the dozen. Now, that's my package. So the neat thing is I will offer to you is typically when I first start working with somebody, it's 10 sessions in a row, once an hour a week and the same day, same bat time, same bat channel, the same day of the week, an hour of the day for 10 weeks in a row. Now, that being said, that's like the kind of standard structure, but I like structure and flexibility. You know me, I travel a lot. So oftentimes I'll be out of the country and I do not coach while I'm traveling. I've experimented with it and it doesn't work out as well. Well, no, I say, you know what, like Monday we're going to be staying, but we're going to be in Lancaster, PA. It's going to be a couple of TikTok lives, yada, yada. I digress. So within that structure of 10 sessions and 1 hour sessions, there's flexibility. There's a week you can't make it, no big deal. We reschedule. There's a week I can't make it, no big deal. We reschedule. I always ensure you get your 10 sessions. And the neat thing is is that even in those sessions, even if you think, oh, I don't need 10, I just need one, there's inevitably something that's going to come up. The more training you have, the more somebody can be there. It's almost like being a consultant, really. I observe, you tell me what happened, and we can work on those things together. So that's how I offer it. And um, and also, I have multiple clients I will share with you who have signed up for additional packages afterwards. They really enjoyed the progress they were making, or they felt like they didn't get it and then they got started. Um, and then they're finally clicking, and then the package is winding to a close. Just purchase another package. Now I say purchase because my coaching, my one-on-one coaching, is something that people pay for. The neat thing is, though, is I know how stressful it can be to be afraid that like a price is going up. So I have not updated my pricing in the past year and a half because I know that money can be a thing for people, and whatever price you sign up for, because if I ever increase my prices, but you always get to pay whatever the going rate was when you started with me. So I have clients with me right now who are literally paying half of my current thing because they started early with me. And every time they re-up, it's just whatever. I like to call it your grandmothered in, you know. And Joanne Parker says that mental health counseling, part of that 10 sessions, unofficially, hell yes. But I am not an official licensed mental health therapist. So it's more like a good ear and somebody that you are willing to wanting to get feedback from. It's not just a kvetch session, but a lot of decluttering is what goes on 90% or more. I'm making up numbers. A wicked lot of decluttering is in your head and in your heart before it ever moving your hands. So much of everything we do in our lives is in our heads and our hearts before we take action. So yeah, it's all about how you think about it and how you feel about it, you know? So yeah. One of the other things I'm going to do today with my time is I'm going to look at my coaching consultation calendar, which is different from, I have many calendars. I'm a woman of many calendars. And I'm going to put some consultation dates on that calendar. So when you click that work with me thing on my website, some dates will be offered. So I'll offer this to you. If you're curious about one-on-one coaching and you think it might work for you and you want to know the price and all that kind of stuff, just sign up for a consultation. What a consultation is just you and me, just the two of us on Zoom for about an hour ish. We, factor out an hour. And really what it is just getting to know you, where you are with clutter, and if what I offer can help you. And if what I offer can help you, then kind of, working out the machinations on it. The wonderful thing is, and this is why I feel so good about charging what I charge, is I have been told by many people that some people say, whoa, you're too expensive. Other people are like, this is a bargain. And everywhere in between, we all have thoughts and feelings um, about money, but we show up differently for things we pay for than things we get for free. And so that's why I think it's really, you will pay more for a class that you pay for. You will show up more for yourself when you pay for something. That is why I do it. And it's also a business. Not going to lie. Now, speaking of business, I got to get off of here because I got to do some coaching, but it was wonderful to hang out with you guys. I will send out an email this weekend when the tickets for the declutter parties go live, and when there are more, when there are consultation slots available. So I'm taking care of you. All right. I'll see you. Somebody saved a lizard. I love to hear it. And I'll see you later. Bye.